Dan Kohler is our food scientist, shall I say, our unnerving, because he's sitting here. He's like, I'm not nervous at all.
Listen,
He's so smart.
I got my Einstein socks on.
Oh, okay. He does.
That's a little, okay, now I know. So we're going to put his knowledge to the test. Our family's come up with some questions. We're going to see if we can stump Dan Kohler.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start Shirley.
Okay.
Go first.
I do have confidence in you, by the way. Okay, but listen, I am so confused.
Okay.
How is it that ice cream doesn't melt when they fry it, like with tempura or fried ice cream? That does not make sense to me.
That doesn't make sense.
You're right. It doesn't make sense, but let me see if I can make it sense.
Okay.
All right.
So we normally fry things at about 375 degrees and higher.
Right?
And do you know what an average temperature of a freezer is?
No.
About 40 degrees or lower. 32 to 40.
Oh, okay, freezing.
Right, so, but it's a little under 40. So when you make fried ice cream, you're bringing something that is under 40 degrees into 375 degrees. You're wrapping it in a thin shell. Also, when you fry things with a thin shell, it doesn't take that long. So, and you can super chill the ice cream
Right.
in a blast freezer. Circulating air drops the temperature even lower.
Right.
And so it just, you get a little bit of melting in between the shell and the ball of ice cream, but that's why it's always compact. You wouldn't have a log of ice cream that you're frying.
Right.
Because it has to be compact and less surface area,
Yes.
right? So it's compacted into a ball wrapped in
got it.
dough.
Okay.
So it's
Wrap it.
insulated?
Okay,
Yeah.
did Dan answer that correctly? Okay. All right. This one came from this is for me. This happened over the weekend with my kids. I looked over at my youngest, and I saw he was starting the teenage years, right? And I said, "Oh, Avery, we got to take care of that." And his brother looked at him and said, "All you have to do is stop eating greasy foods, and it'll take care of itself." Which made me think. My thing is, what foods promote breakouts, and why do they? In teenagers, you didn't know.
All right, I'm not a doctor, so don't.
Okay, it's okay. Let's see. Are there
But
certain?
this is a biology question, so
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I have been an adolescent teen, so I do have some experience.
Okay.
Sugar, excess sugar does a lot to your body. I mean, it's part of the reason, like the problem with diabetes. So you have, when you eat too much sugar, you have a spike in insulin. You release a lot of insulin.
Yeah.
And that, I think, can cause breakouts, but also it might, I mean, it can also be like responses to other foods. It could be, I mean, if he's eating too much dairy, greasy foods actually are probably not the problem. It's sugars, it's processed foods, and it might be dairy for some people.
Oh, you're the smartest guy I know. Man. That's almost exactly what the research showed.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. Laura.
You're just at magic.
my
That's all
gosh.
you are as well. Okay, Laura, stump him. Come on,
Okay,
somebody else should stump him.
Einstein, I got a
He's 2 for 2.
question for you.
Okay.
This is from my 1.5-year-old nephew. He really likes eating that mac and cheese, but kind of like the fake kind with the powdered cheese. Ugh. But it's not real cheese. So what is the science behind the powdered cheese that can last in your
Oh,
cabinet
we got him.
forever?
He's on his heels.
Not that I
Wait.
Chemicals.
Wait. I mean, can the answer just be simply a ton of chemical processing? Because realistically, that's what's happening.
I'm curious because I'm.
What'd you say?
Have organic powder.
Okay, but unpacking the word organic, it means a lot of things. It could be, they're starting with an organic cheese, but chemicals aren't graded by an organic or unorganic. Like there's no system that tells you whether chemical additives are organic or not, because they can't be, right? They're
So
chemical
food can
additives.
be organic but have tons of chemicals in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Organic means that it was grown without added chemicals. It doesn't mean that there were no chemicals added later.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just have a light bulb
Organic
going
mac
on.
and cheese.
So like your organic mac and cheese, that fake cheese, there's no way that's. I mean, it can start with a real cheese product, but through some chemical processing, that's how you get bright orange powder. That's not a real.
No.
Am I beating
not
around the
to
bush? I
feed
mean,
a one-year-old.
that's about as
Oh,
much
no,
as I
it's
can
disgusting.
say.
Okay, we're gonna.
Would you feed your dogs that?
Hell no.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna do this.
Hopefully my
we're gonna
sister will not feed that anymore.
We're gonna go to another. We're gonna refine that answer, and we're gonna actually give the correct answer.
you're gonna tell me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you're close. You're very close.
Okay.
But I want to.
So did I stump
him? Kind of, and you'll see why. Christina's up. So you don't get that one. Okay. You're up.
So, why do certain foods pair really well with wines and other foods don't? Like if you have a red and a white. What's the science behind the pairing?
Well,
The flavors.
So you kind of have to think of all of the things you're eating, and chefs do this when they're creating a dish, as puzzle pieces, right? But they're kind of you can put the puzzle pieces together to make any shape you want or make a final dish, and wine or alcohol pairings are part of that shape. But the jagged edges to your puzzle piece are like acids and tannins.
Right.
They are, like VOCs, volatile organic compounds, that are the spice flavors. But all of those things are going to interlock with something else. And sometimes if you have a puzzle piece, say your wine, that's really acidic, it's really bright, it's actually not going to interlock with another piece of food. It's going to be too much. It's going to totally overpower that other food. So a lot of times you have to think of all of the components that make a dish, or make a wine, or make cabbage, or make strawberries. What makes them unique? What are their jagged puzzle pieces on the edge, and how do they interlock with other things?
Okay, just so I'm going to say this. When you said the word tannins, the rest forward from there was all showing off.
Exactly.
Okay. You had us at tannins. We were in. The answer is correct. But you were just showing off, Dan.
Okay. I love this next question, Tanya.
Thanks. Well, I've sort of been wondering this for a
great.
long time, and I am so going to get you, Dan. I'm so going to get you. All right. So when you get your
I'm worried now.
you should, because you know I'm good. So when you get your hair wet, it turns darker, although water is clear. Why is that?
That's a really good question.
That's not a food question, all fairness to Dan.
No, it's a physics question.
It's a physics question.
And I famously tanked in physics, but I think I can answer.
And so did I.
Okay. So if we're all looking at Tanya's, let's use Tanya's hair as an example right now. Hair fibers, though we think they are really closely packed together, actually aren't. So there's a lot of light that's filtering through there, right?
Right.
Lots of life, yes.
So light, not light.
Oh, light. Sorry.
And life.
But water is much more dense than air. So as you get your hair wet, it's actually compacting even more, and the spaces between it
You're
are.
going to answer this, aren't
Yeah.
you?
So to me, I would say, from a physics standpoint, less light is getting through. It's darker.
That makes sense.
It's more compact. It's denser. It is denser. It's thick. There's less air space.
reflection.
There's
Okay.
less light shining through. Does that?
I think-
It
I
just
think-
sounded like smart.
And I'm glad you didn't
Really
use
smart.
Kim's hair as an example, because we'd have to separate the real versus the.
No, this is all
What?
real.
Did Dan get it correct? Did he get it correct? Yes, you did. We're going to come right back. We're going to sort out the mac and cheese thing, and we have another question maybe. Don't go away.
Wow. Damn it. Wow.